Hi everyone, it's Mixed Media Frenzy time. I'm very happy that you joined me, and I hope I can figure out a way to get this done without taking up too terribly much of your precious time. First of all, this is a sketch or a layout that we're lifting that was my idea. I think what I was attracted to was this great photo of the kid with his hat backwards and his shades on, and of course the mixed media, the inky watercolory stuff in the background, all of the grungy stamping all around it, and just the kind of horizontal line. And then there's this circle of inked dots in a rainbow of colors that kind of highlight the center of it. And just to be honest, I was kind of thrown. I've been worrying about this for a couple days, trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I have a variety of things that I've done already. First of all, I have chosen a Vicki Boutin pre-made mixed media background that is roughly in the kind of the shape I wanted. And this is all of this green and blue on here were done by Vicki, not me. And I did some testing with a theory I had about inking, and I got out the Vicki Boutin color wheels that are kind of, I guess they're pigment ink. They certainly behave like pigment ink. They're a little bit wetter and mushier, let's say, than regular inks. And so they're probably going to dry more slowly. And I was testing an idea that I had. I took a piece of paper out of the trash, which was actually Vicki Boutin's April Create 2020 rules. And I just kind of hand cut a circle out of the center of it. And I thought I would tape it on here. I marked a center, and then I thought I'd run my, I have this stencil from Bramble Fox. I thought I'd run this kind of around in all the different colors, kind of around into a circle. And I probably am going to do two pressings of each color, and then kind of head around. And I thought I'd tape this onto the layout as a mask. So let me do that. Well, actually, no. This has dried. This was my test run. It's a little bit more vivid than I wanted it to be, but I think that's because when I put it on my blending brush, I had this, which I had tried pressing with the ink pad itself, because the ink pads do, on this color wheel, they slide out, and I thought I could use that to ink it, and I kind of actually, you can see how I sort of mooshed that, that down. But I'm going to clean this off. Probably ought to do that now while I'm thinking about it. And I may, let me actually try something here. Let me do it with the mask on. Again, a trial. I don't want to count on being able to do something and then have it not work. So let me try this, to get a little bit of a lighter kind of shadowing. I want to start it at the same and kind of curve it on out. And let me kind of do it this way. I'm going to try with the baby white as I clean the stencil, maybe getting some of that ink onto the page. That's possibly the intensity that I might have preferred anyway. Yeah, that's great. And doing a little bit over here kind of looks like shadowing. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. So I love it when I can clean something and create something at the very same time. Okay, so having done that, I'm gonna go to the black stamping, and because that, the ink I'm using there is just plain old Memento Tuxedo Black, and I've got a whole variety of what I call my mixed media stamps that I'm going to do. I have drawn with pencil kind of where my photo's going to be placed, and I'm using this photo of, it's a goofy photo, but I love it. It's heavily filtered here. We were at a pool a few summers ago, and I put my hat on my husband's head, and my son snapped a photo of it. And it's just a goofy thing, and it's just kind of a reminder at the moment. It came up in memories a few days ago, and it reminds me of things we can't do this summer. So that's gonna go kind of right here. I'm going to swing this color wheel sort of around it, but not completely. I'm going to do a lot of heavy black stamping over on this side that'll kind of partially show, and I'm actually going to go around and do it under this. I've got a couple papers. I've got my title from Bramble Fox, and I have a phrase strip that I typed up, a couple of perspectives that just came in my May Fox box, 3 stars, just things that, dimensional items that will be put on after my, my black stamping. So I'm gonna take off on that. Now let me kind of get some things out of the way here, and I want to keep my original there so that I'm kind of honoring some of what it's got going on. One of the things I want to do is this horizontal stuff, and I'm going to run it all the way across. Of course, it won't show under the photo, but I've got a stamp here that does kind of a wavy line. I'm going to do this in conjunction with another one. It's like a scallopy line, and it'll give just a little bit of that look. I've got, not going to really go too heavily on this. Not gonna worry a lot about it or fret over it. That's good. Let me get that cleaned and back on my, back there. Now I've got another one that's kind of some lines that wave a bit. Let me kind of overlay that a bit. Good, good. That worked out well. Let me do this again. Okay, and I'd like to do something else horizontal like that would give it kind of a grungy sort of look. And I've got, let's see, I've got some, I'll take a closer look at my stamps. That might be good. I really like, and I plan to use this coupon It's or tickets and coupons stamp. It goes this way. So I'm going to use that more on this side. Let me put a piece of paper under here so that I don't go off onto my cutting mat. Okay, that didn't come out very dark, but that's okay. I can do some other stamping down there, and let me actually do that. Let's see, I've got this block, and I can use this little guy. Why did I put them? I'm so in the habit of putting the kind of do that, and it'll look like I intended it to be that way, right? For this really large, there's a stamp here. I wish I had something like that that's a sort of a seal that says wonderful. I'm going to instead use, let me put the tickets back. This is a stamp that's kind of got a botanical image on it, and some words. It's definitely a mixed media sort of look, and it's got some printing, some typing, a bird, a tree, a seal. It's got lots of interesting images, and I just love the shape of it. So I'm going to kind of put this so that it's showing right at the corner. And I know from experience that this really needs to be kind of pressed down. Okay, that's fine. Let me add another couple of these swirly circles. I've got 2 of these going. You know, there's enough space right here that I think I could do the tickets. So let me go back to the tickets and ink that up. Let me make sure I've got them so you can read them the right way. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. Let me do that. And then I'm going to overlay that with a circle that allows that to be seen underneath. Clean that up, and let me clean this one up and get that back in place. Let me get my swirly circle that has open bits. Okay. Kind of a frenzy for sure around here. I'm going to go like this, and that's going to kind of show, but it'll just be peeking out from the photo. I'm going to do this one, which will also peek out from underneath the photo. And then I'm going to do another one over in here, which will kind of come out from this corner of the photo. And that one didn't stamp completely. So let me put that back. I'm going to take this little dotty one and do it right here. And then maybe I can combine, like put a star or something else there. Now, let's see. I would like something, there's room for something up in here. I probably could do a leaf or something botanical made of paper off in one area. Or, well, let me just, I'm gonna put this aside. I'll go with what I have, and if I feel like I need more, I can just doodle it in, actually. So here's a big circle that, okay, I haven't inked this one and used it. I'm gonna maybe go kind of right here, and these will show underneath my title. My title's gonna go, see, the photo's gonna end about right there. Title's gonna go about right there. And so I can have different images showing kind of above and below and around it. So let me put that there, and I'm gonna take, let's see, I've got this little one, I've already used it, and it goes here. So let me try this one. And maybe go right over this horizontal line. Okay, I'm going to put those away. I think I'm done using that stamp set. I'm going to go back to my mixed media stamps. I really like this one, and this is just kind of a smudge, if you will. So I would kind of like it maybe to go right here. So let me get it on a block. Hopefully this will come together really well after, or really quickly after I've got the stamping done. So that goes there. Oh, that's great. It's got a nice kind of grainy look. And this one, I'm just going to slap that over there and not tend to it right now. This one, I'm going to especially place it to be down underneath the photo. It has a variety of circles and some dotty, ropey looking things. Let's see, my photo, I think, is going to end right in there. So I'm going to maybe do it right here. Okay, that's good. I love those circles, and I'd almost want to use this someplace else, maybe going the other way. Yeah, let's do that. And this should be right at the other edge of the circle, and it'll kind of cross over all of this that we have going on. Okay, that's good enough. Now, let's try to put some color on here. Let me get my mask. And I'll get it taped on. It's going to be, instead of dead center like the one in the original, because the mixed media piece that I'm borrowing from Vicki Boutin is kind of shifted a bit to the left. I'm going to shift my mask to the left, and I'm going to kind of tape it even on my, hopefully that is on screen. Yeah, it is. So you should see all of this as I do it. Let me kind of put that down. It doesn't have to be perfect because I'm kind of going to well, I've lost the edge of my washi tape. There it is. Okay. Now, my next color I'm going to use is orange. I'm going to do, well, actually, no. I'm going to do this, well, yeah, let's go with orange. And do I want the orange to go this way? I'm going to go this way. And I'm going to use this next, there are three kind of columns of bubbly stencils here. I'm going to take this next one. I'm going to still use this, the pink on this brush because I'm kind of doing it rainbow style, and I may kind of branch over there a little bit, and I want it to kind of seamlessly blend to the next color. So now I'm going to go over a bit with that same row, and I'm going to hit this next orange, which is much more yellow. And I'm going to go kind of this way and still kind of do some shadows over into the other orange and the pink. So we're going around. Now I think it's yellow's turn, and what I want to do is what I did before is kind of wipe that orange off, and I'm going to use a different one of these brushes, and this goes in the pile that has to be washed. Where are my other brushes? Here's my little bucket of brushes. We'll pull this one out. This one won't be used on the yellow. But in the meantime, I want to wipe some of this orange onto the layout as I'm cleaning it up. Okay, that looks good. Let me do a little bit better cleaning here. And I'm actually, because I'm going to yellow and don't really want to muck it up a lot, I'm going to go to a new baby wipe. And I'm going to go from the yellow into this lime green kind of as I go here, which will kind of blend in with the colors that are already there. So let's see what we're doing here. This goes back to the center, which is kind of there. Okay, that's coming out very vividly, so that's nice. And I'm gonna maybe move it over a bit and do the baby wipe thing that gets that color kind of wiped off onto the layout. That's a fairly narrow band there. So now let me go with this next band, which is wider, and kind of bring it over to there. And I'm gonna go with the lime green. I'm going to use the same yellow, the same brush that I used for yellow. Okay, I like that. And I'm going to do the baby wipe to clean it. Kind of go there. I'm kind of enjoying this. So now I want to use a more vivid green. So I'm gonna still use this with the lime green on it, but tap it onto the dark green and maybe do a couple taps onto the lime green. I've probably ruined the lime green forever, but hopefully not. Okay, that's good. And let me do the shadowing with the baby white. Kind of cleaning it off onto there. Okay, I really like how it's filling out, and I think that's gonna look striking when I take that off. So the next color I'm gonna use is the next color in the wheel. It's this aqua color, and it's a sort of pale one, and I'm leaving a lot of green on my brush, which now I'm gonna wipe the green off and go back and try to get some more of that pale aqua on there. And I'll kind of do that up in here. Still very green, which is okay, but not necessarily what I was going for. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna wipe that off. This was a more vivid aqua, and it's kind of worked there. Now I'm gonna go for the blue. And it's coming out awfully aqua. Let me go here and clean that off. I would say that the green is one of the stronger pigments in here because it's really picking up a lot on that green. So now I'm going to use this really dark blue. Maybe right in there. Ooh, that's nice, and it's a nice, pretty bright blue, but it may be not exactly what I was hoping for. It's kind of a departure. I was thinking it might be a navy. Okay, there. I might do another bit of that blue, but combined with this blue. And I'm gonna see how that translates. Okay. Good. Now I'm going to leave the blues and I'm going to change brushes. And I'm actually going to go back to this one that did the orange and pink. And I'm going to do this red color. Okay. I didn't clean this one off. Let me do that. Let me do that. Okay. number 1, because it needs to be clean. Number 2, because I kind of need to take up some space. I'm going to do this red now. Okay. Let me clean the stencil. And right in here, this last remaining one, I'm going to pull a completely different brush, and I'll do that light pink. Okay. Okay, the light pink is not wanting to cooperate. It's really sticky. I'm not getting any color from it at all. Or at least it seems like, well, you can kind of see it. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to this brighter pink again and use it there, but maybe go lightly, and then I'll do this wiping onto the layout, cleaning the stencil. Okay, that seems to be appropriate for me. It's certainly more color because my holes are bigger than this. I really wish I had that stencil. I'm gonna go shopping for that stencil, and when I'm done with my spending freeze, that's gonna be on my list. I love that. That kind of wheel sort of stencil that you can just vary the colors, just lay the stencil down and vary the colors. That actually seems like it would be good on almost any mixed media layout. Okay, so I'm going to take my mask off, and I'm going to put my photo on, see how best to use these papers that I have. I like this green Amy Tangerine paper that that's kind of I got a watercolory sort of look to it, and it looks kind of faded, and I thought I could maybe even kind of change the coloring a bit. I'm just taking this brush that I used with the blue and green colors. I think it started with yellow. I'm kind of brushing over it. Didn't get this idea till just this very minute, so I'm not sure how that's gonna look. This is kind of big. It is large, so I tell you what I'm gonna do is let's see how it does with the photo. Yeah, it's bigger than the photo. So let me tear an edge and let it kind of come up like that. I'll tear this side as well. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do is kind of brush those white edges. Kind of let that, just a very little bit of it show. And I'm going to maybe tear this and do the same there. And I'm gonna let it peek out from underneath that. Okay, this already has, oh, I laid my photo on top of that ink, and it's probably not fully dry because, like I said, it's kind of wet ink. So let me do this. Okay, and then I'm going to do this so that it barely peeks out under here, but it does extend. Actually, that's not the way I want that to go on. Or do I? Do I maybe want it to go like that? Way high up into there. Let's see. I might need my tweezers for this. I'm kind of having fumbly fingers here. Before I put this on, of course, I'm going to splash with black ink. Okay, let me get that glued down. And I may put another bit of foam back here because I really want it to stand up and stand out. Okay, but like I said, let's do the black ink. And some of my dots extended beyond the border, and I kind of like that, extended beyond my mask. So I've actually got a different stencil that I could maybe do some kind of very light stenciling around. Ooh, that's a great idea. I'm gonna turn a mistake into a feature. Okay. Let me kind of come up in this corner and do a bit going off that way. Okay, that's good, like little tiny bubbles. Let's do, someone ought to write a song about that. Okay. Do some of that. And maybe a bit down here in this corner. I know this isn't necessarily in keeping with the design. What is my other? This has kind of an orangey color to it, which I haven't got. Let me pull this down here. Ah, that has the red. Okay, I'm done. I'm finished. I'm finished overdoing it. Okay, black splotches. And I've got my Delusions shimmer spray, so it's really gonna do a lot of, these dots will be shiny when they dry. I really want that grunge look, so I want these black, gotta turn it a different way. I'm getting my, gotta get these black bits mixed in with those extra dots of color so that it doesn't look too pretty, yeah, because what we want is for it to look kind of grungy. Not that the photograph demands it. In the original, the photograph just kind of screams grunge. I'm going to do some larger splotches and scratches around. This is all under the photo, so I'm thinking that may be enough, maybe one right in this area that will be extending from the photo. Okay, we've got that down. And is there any other color of ink that I might want to try using? I've got this, just a few bits of turquoise around there. It'll just add a little bit of dimension to that, the black. It won't look all black, and really just a few spritzes of orange. This is Tangerine Dream, and the other was Calypso Teal, and the black, of course, is Black Marble. Okay, that goes back up into there. One of my happiest purchases ever, those Dilutions shimmer sprays. Okay, this is, it's still wet. I've got in here the things that I want to use for sure. And one of the things is this phrase strip. And what I wrote on the phrase strip is going to be the sum total of my my journaling. And I'll show you in a minute. I even covered it up when I inked the edges. Those were the days, my friend. And I actually, in a nod to the fact that that was a song, I actually brought out a